Next up, we're going to learn how to play paradiddles. Paradiddles is a rudiment. It's a rudiment you're going to hear talked about all the time within drumming circles because it's really usable when we get over on the drum kit. Let's learn what it actually is. It often comes in pairs actually, but we've got a right-handed version, a left-handed version. So if we learn the right-handed version first, we've just got 4 hits of the drums. We've got a right hand, a left hand, and then 2 right hands. Easy, right? Right, left, right, right. Now to remember that, we can use the word paradiddle. So the word paradiddle has got the word diddle in. What are diddles? Well, a diddle is a double. So if I say play the plural, diddles, it means do this. Sometimes you're going to hear people call that mummy daddy roll. Mummy daddy, mummy daddy. Sometimes you're going to say play doubles. Some people are going to say play diddles. So we can use the word to help us. We can say paradiddle. Whenever we say diddle, we play 2 with that hand. Paradiddle. Right, left, right, right. So that would be the right-handed paradiddle. Now remember I said there was a left-handed version. All we do is we go paradiddle. In other words, left, right, left, and another left. Now, they don't have to be played in pairs, but often they're played in pairs. So we would get paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. I'd like you to try and play them all up. And then once you feel like you've mastered that, then play them all really quiet. Paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. Because often with these paradiddles, a good way of us practicing it, and often we're going to use this when we get on the drums, is we're going to put accents in there. We're going to accentuate certain notes. So we're going to say, every time we say the P of paradiddle, we're going to hit the drum louder. So we're going to get paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. So we're accentuating the right-handed paradiddle and the left-handed paradiddle. So right, left, right, right, left, right. Now these, you need to do thousands of these. Really get them in your head, right? At all volumes, all types. Because eventually, we want to be able to play them without thinking about them. Even if I'm playing them loud, or with the accents. Now we can use these when we're showing off and trying to play fast stuff, but to be honest with you, when we get on the drums, they work really well when they're at a nice, easy, slow tempo to make some really interesting grooves. Let's go check that out. All we need to do is take our hands, and instead of playing them on one drum, let's put our right hand on our hi-hat, leave our left hand on the snare drum, and let's start off by just playing those paradiddles. I'll play them all, paradiddle, paradiddle, paradiddle. I'll play them all up to begin with. Now what's missing to make it a groove are a couple of things. First thing, we need to put a bass drum in there. The bass drum we're going to put in line with the P of the first paradiddle. So the right-handed paradiddle has got a bass drum with it. Left-handed bass drum at the moment, it's got none. So it's going to sound like this. Now the thing that often makes grooves are what we sometimes call the 2 and the 4. So when I'm playing most grooves, and we're talking about the snare drum being hit loud on the 2 and the 4. So something like this: 1 and 2 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now in this case, when we're playing the paradiddles, 1 E and 2 E and as 16th notes, the 2 is going to be the left-handed paradiddle. So what we're then going to do is we're going to play our first paradiddle all quiet, paradiddle, but our second paradiddle, our left-handed one, we're going to hit the first note loud. So the first thing you want to do is make sure, like we did on the practice pad, you've got this. Then you're going to put your right hand over on the hi-hat. And then finally, if we put that bass drum back in line with the right hand, we get a much more interesting groove. We can take it up a little. And for some people, they may prefer to rim shot the left hands, so we get this. The other thing we can do, is the obvious thing, is take the right hand and move it to other surfaces. So if we try the same thing on the ride cymbal. If I want to bring the right hand out a little bit, I may go to the bell, then we get something that starts to sound a little bit like a Latin rhythm. So why Latin rhythm? Well, in Latin rhythms, often, rather than being one drummer, there may be three of us stood here. One guy playing a cowbell, another guy on a bass drum, another guy on a snare drum, that kind of thing is going on, away. And what starts to happen, when you put the right hand on a sound source, in this case the bell, that is a lot louder than everything else, the listener starts to hear that as if it's a prominent pattern on its own. We could do the same thing if we put our right hand maybe on one of the toms here. It's going to give us this. And if you want the almost sort of what am I thinking of here? Almost tribal kind of sound, we might go for the floor tom. The other thing that you're going to see people doing a lot with these paradiddles is using them as drum fills. Now, we're going to use it to begin with as a 16th note fill, as in like 1 E-yander, 2 E-yander, 3 E-yander, 4 E-yander. So we're going to put our right hand on tom 1, leave our left hand on the snare drum. We're going to play paradiddle, paradiddle. Well, that's half of the bar. Then we're going to come down here and play paradiddle, paradiddle. Real easy to start with. Now if I put that after a simple groove, maybe an 8th note groove, we get this. Now, one of the things that you're going to sometimes hear people saying, especially throwing around on YouTube, is, oh, just play paradiddles anywhere around the kit, just make stuff up. Now, that's easy to say when you've already got a certain mastery over them. When you first start out, there's too many variables, too many places you can hit. So I'm going to give you a couple of other ideas. So the other thing that we might do, we may put our right hand on the floor tom here, and then leave our left hand on that first tom. What about if we put our right hand on the snare drum and leave our left hand on the hi-hat? So it's backwards to what we did before. The other thing you're going to see drummers doing with these is sometimes to get that, yeah, I guess I was going to say Latin again, but to get different feels, I'm going to say, we can put our right hand on all these other surfaces that we've got on the drum kit. So if I just play some random ones, so that's when I'm starting to experiment and just see what I can come up with.